going on, comic book familia? We are back with episode number 2 of our show. I don't have a name for this show yet, but I was gonna say when cousins attack or something like that. But we may have guests. We may have other guests on here, so I'm just trying to figure out a name for our show. But the guy right next to me is my cousin Momo Comics 80. Rob, how's it going?
Doing good. Busy day. Busy.
Yeah.
I know. I was like, wait, there you are.
Yeah.
No, busy day. I just got home. I was running a little behind, guys. Apologize for that. But I went to SAC Anime.
Okay.
Which I've never. I've been to SAC Con, Stockton, Lodi. Like I do comic cons, comic book based conventions typically. But I'm like, okay, SAC Anime's here. A friend of mine also was gonna go, and I got it, dude. Yeah, I got it was packed. Like there were moments where I'm like, this is Comic-Con. Like the aisles were that packed, and there were so many cosplayers. Like if you're in town, and there's this because they do it also in the winter as well, like summer and winter. Like just to go check it out, I would say you got to do it. Like it's such a bigger thing than I anticipated. Definitely bigger attendance numbers than SatCon, which I think that says a lot. So
I think we're so used to Comic-Con and just our windows, so to speak, is just concentrated on going to Comic-Cons, but anime is just gigantic. I don't know enough about it, obviously, but I know it's huge.
I did see 2 comic book vendors there.
Oh, you did?
And like one of them you would recognize. Like he goes to all the ones in like California.
Okay.
He's I always forget his name, but like his booth, it's like he has a ton of Valiant books, like graded. It's usually a pretty nice booth at comic conventions. But he was there and I said, "Hey, what's up?" And he was like, "Hey, hi," kind of like, kind of remembers the face, I guess, the eyebrows, the bald head. But he was like, "Yeah, I do as many shows as I can. I'll go to Anime Con if they'll take me." But yeah, they had voice actors there, video game actors, SpongeBob, the guy who does SpongeBob was there. And they had Bluey's parents. They probably were the biggest draw because Bluey has like an adult fandom too, which is interesting. But yeah, it was a big thing. A lot of video game stuff, and then the booths. It's like Comic-Con when you see all those like anime plushes, stickers, but it was just a lot, and I was surprised how many vendors there were, because sometimes you go to a comic book convention and there's not like a ton of comic books. I remember we did the one in San Jose that one year with Richard, and they didn't have a ton of comic book vendors because the cost was through the roof for the booths. But this place, yeah, it was jam packed.
I remember. Oh, before we go any further, let's go say hi to anybody who's watching us, and it's just one person, so it's going to be really quick.
Hey,
Spine Tiggs is a good friend of mine. He has his own show at 8 p.m. on his YouTube channel. You can follow him on Instagram. It's a really good show, very entertaining. So, and I told him I wasn't, when we do shows, well, people who do shows on YouTube, at least we try not to step on each other's toes, so to speak. So he's on at 8 o'clock. That's how come I started my show at 6 o'clock, but I want to, run into his show at all, even though he's got a ton more viewers than me. I don't think it's but he's a really good person. So I just want to say hi to him. So
thanks for the support.
Yeah. Last year, they had LA Convention Center. They had an anime con. And the picture of that, I don't know if you've seen it, but it was crazy. I'm not sure how the fire marshal wasn't called in for that. It was just a mass sea of people that it was crazy.
I remember that because it was posted on Instagram, like on all the algorithms, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So I mean, it's a huge fandom, and I didn't quite know what I was looking for. Like I watched One Piece, but my daughter Clara, right? Yeah. She's like, "There's yada yada. Oh, Dad, yada yada," and I'm like, I don't even know what. What am I looking at? But yeah, it was fun, man. Again, if you're in town and during the wintertime, we got to check it out because it was huge. It was so crazy. But anyway, yeah.
So before we go on with our show, we also have EGS Comics, Steve from EGS Comics. I have some of his comics here, and first time I ever bought comic books. Well, I sent in my comic books to EGS. and expert grading system service. And I don't know what the grades are. My daughter opened the box for me. They came in this last week. So we're going to look at those and compare them because I got some CGC books too. So all that.
Those are the custom labels, right?
Those are the custom labels. I spoke with
Sweet.
the owner of EGS before I sent my books in. We communicated. And I told them what kind of labels they on their website. If you go to EGS Comics, also on Instagram, it takes you a link to his web page, and it has all these labels, custom labels that you can pick and choose, or you can create your own. And I actually communicated with them on Instagram what I wanted, some special items put on the label, and they facilitate you. And it's no charge for this service, no charge for the annual service. Obviously, you have to pay for each book, but it's not like an annual service like for CGC, and CBCS. So, but we'll see how the books turn out. Yeah, well, we're going to do that at the end of the show. So, but you get ready to get going?
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Oops, and I'm not. Let me get my slides in order here. Okay. So this title, this segment, I decided to call a little bit of this and a little bit of that, where Rob and I were just going to talk about comic books or stuff in entertainment business that, that we have, I asked him, hey, send me some things you want to talk about. And I put in some slides. So you ready to go?
Yeah, man.
Let me see what's on first. Okay. Gosh, Comic-Con is already in about 3 weeks. We got for returning registration opens on September 21st. For those who attended 2024 with a page badge, which is us. So open registration is already upon us in basically 3 weeks. Usually in years gone by, they've done it like in maybe November, and some years they've done it like the following year, but they're just doing it really quick this year. They're only like 3 months after Comic-Con ended.
Yeah, it seems early, but then I don't know. I kind of feel like that's the way things are going with everything. Like, look at Disneyland; they're already like Halloween decked out.
Yeah.
They're trying to get their numbers in, right? They want the money, and with Comic-Con, it's going to sell out. It always does.
Yeah.
But yeah, it does feel super early compared to past years. But I'm like, we just saw each other.
Yeah.
And it's like now we're going for round 2.
I said 3 months, but it's only been 2 months in Comic-Con. It was at the end of July. So we're talking about August, less than 2 months, basically. And they're already selling badges for next year. I'm assuming this is people, like I said, who went this year for returning returning attendees. I'm assuming the ones who haven't gone they're going to do it next year, probably sometime in February.
So I don't know the numbers. Do you, of like the actual attendance numbers for Comic-Con? I know at one point post-COVID, they weren't selling as many tickets.
Yes.
Because they wanted crowd control because of safety and whatnot with COVID. I'm assuming they alleviated that. Because
in years past, they've always said about 150,000 people that they, have badges for. But since we, myself and Rob, we do a panel, this is going to be hopefully, knock on wood, our 4th year of doing a panel together. Anybody who does a panel, they give you 6 badges, and you can purchase up to 6 additional badges. So that's like 12 badges per panel. I don't know if they take all that into consideration, if that's part of the 150, or is that just, 150, then everybody who gets those badges is an addition to that, and vendors too. Do they count as, badges or what? I don't know, but for, what they say, basically about 150,000 badges available.
Yeah, and then it's kind of hard to gauge the crowds. I feel like the last couple of years, because Hall H isn't what it has been in the past.
Yeah,
and the offsites and the interactives, they're not as, I think, impacted as they were in the past. I mean, sometimes you would have to camp out for certain offsites, right?
Yeah.
So like the floor seems packed. It still feels packed, but like Sunday, Hall H is empty. They don't even utilize Ballroom 20 or Hall H on Sunday anymore.
Yeah, no more. Yeah, that's weird.
So
that's
like
in a row. Yeah.
Right. So then I'm thinking like, are the numbers back to pre-COVID dates, or are we still kind of like not as impacted as we were in the past? I don't know. I'm curious. And I tried Googling it just now, and the numbers are like, they're written in a way where it says more than 135,000 attended. So, so is it like, how much is more? I don't know. I know they have that data point, right? They sell the tickets. They know how many people are going.
Maybe that more than are the people who get the free badges, so to speak.
Yeah, that's the wiggle room, I guess, huh?
But anyways, we're going to be waking up Saturday, September 21st, about 8 o'clock. I think it starts at 9 o'clock. The whole, trying to get a badge, So hopefully we'll be able to get badges this year. We'll see how it goes,
Yeah.
And let's go on to the next topic here. Rob, take it away, man. You sold some books recently. You wanted to talk about them.
Yeah. This is my first time selling on Shortbox, which I think many of us, I mean, if you're watching this right now, you probably know what that company is.
Yeah.
They're based out of the Bay Area, a app strictly for like comic book sales. And they rolled out with an auction feature. And so what they've been doing apparently is when you go to a convention and you're interested in participating in an auction, you can actually drop off books at the convention. And so for San Diego Comic-Con, they put an email blast, like if you're going to be there and you're interested on participating in an auction, just drop off your book. You don't have to worry about shipping it out to us. And the other perk, you don't have to worry about shipping it to the buyer at the end of the auction. But here's the rule. The rule is it's no reserve. Like they start their bids low. I want to say it was $1, something low. And so that's a little scary, especially with some of the books that I offered up for sale. And then, it was like a 3-day auction. It's actually really quick. It wasn't even like a 7-day auction.
Yeah.
So I was a little like, oh my gosh, well, let's try it. I got 2 books, and the story behind the 2 books, and you see them on the screen right now. One of them is an X-Men 25 9/8 gold variant signed by Stan Lee. X-Men 25 isn't like a hard book to find, but there's a couple of variants of it, a gold and a black and white, and those tend to go pretty well. And then obviously the Stan Lee signature adds a little bit to it, in my opinion. And so I had 2 copies of this book, and the other one was also a 9/8, but it was signed by Andy Kubert. So I sold that one initially on eBay prior to all of this. And as you can see on the screenshot there, it sold for almost $600, $598, and then the buyer pays shipping. But eBay, they take about 13%.
Yes.
Whereas Shortbox, I want to say it's 10, if I'm correct off the top of my head. Slightly better, right? And it matters. And so it went up, and as you see by the screenshot, it went for a little less. Went for almost $100 less than what it sold on eBay. And then the other book was a sketch by Stephen Gordon, who was one of the animators for X-Men Evolution. And I got this at WonderCon one year with you, Everin. And and he did it. Boom, came out really nice. I just asked for Old Man Logan X-Men Evolution style, and that's what he came out with. That one only sold for it sold for $108 on Shortbox. And I want to say, I think the commit for him to do the sketch at that time was like $150.
Okay.
I think so. I obviously did not do very well on that one. Right. I didn't, and then obviously you got to think getting it CGC'd, there's an expense to that too.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm happy that the X-Men book kind of did as well as it did on eBay, but it didn't. And then the Old Man Logan, again, that one I didn't quite break even on. But I would say this, like, would I do it again? If it was a big recognizable book, if it was a book that people are going to be looking for and, actively searching, like, Secret Wars 8, right?
Yeah.
That's a very popular book right now. So that might be worth doing. But the Old Man Logan sketch for a 3-day auction, that's a very specific kind of book for someone to be looking for. If anything, if someone just checked out the auctions and was like, oh, that's kind of a cool looking book, that's going to get the attention of people. And that's kind of like a spontaneous, unplanned kind of purchase, I guess. Whereas the X-Men 25 gold variant is a big recognizable book. So so they're still working on, I guess, getting their, their, I guess, regulars, forming a client list of active users, I guess, is what they are still trying to build. Haven't got the payout yet. I'm waiting on that. So hopefully that happens sooner than later. But yeah, overall, it was easy. Would I do it again? Only if it was a book that was like a recognizable title that, someone would actively be looking for. The more obscure books, I think that's going to be have a harder time. And as a buyer, if I'm a buyer, yeah, you probably actually can get a better deal. eBay just has so many people on it. I mean, really, that's what you're paying for, is that eBay audience, right?
Yeah, I was about to say that eBay has a way big audience that people can, log on to or check out your books if they do check them out. But obviously, Shortbox and any of those other, companies that sell online, it is more concentrated. But all those people are comic book collectors. So I mean, it almost seems like, so for 501 they take 10%, and then on eBay, 598, but then the taxes you have to pay, and then the 13%. So it may I think if you were to put this book on eBay, it might have sold for a little bit more than 501 though. Because it's Stanley signature.
Yeah. But 500 is. I'm happy that it broke 500. That's a win in my book. But would I do it again? Yes. I will say this: the Shortbox team, fantastic.
Yeah.
Like, emails, really down to earth guys. You can tell they really care about like the service and the products that they're putting out. Like, they're not just some kind of big entity like eBay. They're comic book guys. And and they're, like I said, they're all about customer service. So I think they're building this feature up right now really, really well. I think as a seller, again, big title books, I think that's probably going to be a safe bet. As a buyer of comics on Shortbox, you probably can get some pretty good deals. I even started like watching more, certain consignments there. And like one guy he had a GSX, I think it was a 9.0 for like, he sent me a private offer of like $4,000, which I'm like, okay, that's pretty cool. People. But yeah, eBay, I can see Spinetix made a comment. Yeah, that's the thing, right? Like, it's just kind of the established brand, right? I have my watch list on eBay, and I probably, honestly, I do check eBay like way more often, because it's just, they have so many, right? So many sellers, so many books.
Steve, you've been on eBay since '99. How old were you? Like about 10 years old back then or something like that, man? Just messing around with you, man. So yeah, I mean, eBay, I do use eBay, and I have been selling on eBay too recently. It's just, they have such a big audience, and that's one of the main reasons. And I know they take a lot away, but I have been selling on eBay, but I do put some of my books every now and then on Instagram too.
I've tried Instagram. I don't have as many followers as you.
Yeah.
So like, I'm not out there like some of these other guys. So I think I've done a handful of Instagram sales, to be honest, but when I put something up on eBay, they tend to move a lot faster, to be honest.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
But again, that's what you're paying for. That's the premium price. So as soon as Shortbox, as long as they continue to build users, and get that kind of engagement going, I would say if you got a big name book that people are hunting for, that there are always going to be people looking for a Secret Wars 8, for instance, right? Like, that would be a good way to go, a good viable option. And like I said, their customer service, top notch.
Nice. Yeah, Gene, the CEO, is a very nice person.
Yeah.
All right, let's go on to the next topic here. Last week, I went to the National Baseball Hall of Fame in Cooperstown, New York. It's always been on my bucket list. I love baseball. Baseball is the very first sport that I gravitated towards as a kid. My dad used to take me to games at Candlestick Park. My daughter's into baseball. I didn't tell her, to get into baseball. We just talked about it. She just naturally likes it too. I think just the ambiance of baseball to me is different, than football. Obviously, the high action or basketball or hockey, just more laid back, so to speak. So, hang on. We got a comment here from Spinetix here. Haha, I was in the music biz in the 90s. First thing I saw on there was a record label, Grammy's Trinket. Nice. So, my daughter's coming on really quick.
We went to the Baseball Hall of Fame.
Yeah. We went.
Rocking a shirt.
Yeah. So we got the shirt. So.
Okay.
So we went to the Baseball Hall of Fame last week in Cooperstown, New York. It's a beautiful part of the country. Every time I think of New York, I think of New York City, obviously. But this was like in the boonies, so to speak, or just outside of New York City. And we just had a really good time. We landed in Albany, New York, because Cooperstown doesn't have an airport, so to speak. So it's about an hour and a half from Albany. And we spent 3 days there. And it's very beautiful country. And it's just, if anybody sees this video, if you have a chance to go to Cooperstown, New York, to check out the Hall of Fame, it is so worth it. We spent about 6 to 8 hours there. And it's only 3 floors.
Wow.
But it was just so much artifacts and just awesome things to look at. And I got some pictures here. Oh, we got my man here, Ian Hoodrat. Hey, what's up, Ian? Thanks for joining us, man.
What's up, Ian?
Okay, so here's some pictures. I took some showing some slides here. This is a New York Yankees. This is Lou Gehrig's old uniform.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And this glove in the middle was worn by Ty Cobb. And on the left, I'm going through this stand. You can't go through this, but this used to be the Yankees turnstile. I think they stopped using like in the 1970s, but they had it on display there. And obviously, this is when women were playing baseball and during World War II, A League of Their Own. The movie was made from this. And they did wear short skirts. So yeah, like it was depicted in the movie. Not crazy, but the glove in the middle.
Yeah, look at that glove. Yeah.
Oh man, it's like wow. Doesn't look like it had much padding. Let me see what else we got here. So this on the left is a bat by Willie Mays.
Hey.
And then the middle is Hank Aaron. And on the right is like a disco official Roberto Clemente memorial album.
What is that?
Who's that? You don't know who
No. I'm saying what is like
what is that?
Yeah, what is that?
Looks like it's a Hispanic album. It says authorized by the Pirates to Pittsburgh. So it just says it's an album, maybe just talking about his history. I'm old enough to remember watching the 1970 World Series with Pittsburgh and Roberto Clemente. They won it that year. And it was a great series. I still remember it because that's when I started really getting into baseball. And then unfortunately, it's tragically December of that year, he passed away in a plane. He was over the earthquake in Panama, or Nicaragua, I believe. Nicaragua or Panama, and the plane was taking off, and it says it was so heavily loaded with food and material for the earthquake victims, and he was just a great humanitarian. It said the plane crashed almost immediately. It was just too heavy.
Oof.
So he was a really great player. And let me see what else here. That on the left is Satchel Paige. One of the great Negro players. And on the right is Tim Lincecum. We all know him, the Freak.
Yeah, we were there for, Janine and I and the kids, we were there for the no-hitter.
Yeah. When you told me you were there, I was so jealous, man. That's one of the things I want to see is a no-hitter. I was like, oh my God, you were there. So they were both against the Padres too, I believe.
Yeah.
Right?
It was. It's like the whole time everyone's like, "Is this really going to happen? Is this really going to happen?
Yeah.
It's going to happen."
And let me see what else. Oh, before we do talk about this, let me get rid of this for a second. Obviously, when you go to Cooperstown or any store, around there, they always have like you can buy all kinds of stuff. Let me see if I can make myself bigger here. Hang on for a second. Here we go. So am I out of focus? I look a little bit out of focus. Am I okay?
Yeah, you're looking a little.
Let me hang on for a minute, guys. Let me get the settings here. Let me see. Because I'm going to show you some pictures here.
Good.
That's better. Yeah. So I went to this store and I wasn't planning on buying these, but they had like actual plaques, not from the Hall of Fame, but they look just like the Hall of Fame ones. Hang on for a second here. So I got this one is of Lou Gehrig.
Oh yeah, that looks cool, man.
Yeah, and this one is of Willie Mays.
Nice.
And these cost $6.
What? $6?
Yes, $6. $5.99. Yeah.
That seems too cheap. How many did you buy? Okay.
Jackie Robinson.
It seems like if it's $6 and you're like, oh, yeah, I'll take the Jackie Robinson too.
Babe Ruth.
Oh wait, we're up to 4.
We're up to 4.
Okay.
And I was like, oh my God, and like, I want this, I want that. Roberto Clemente. I never knew his last name was Walker. I had no idea. And when I was at the actual Hall of Fame, it did say Walker on his plaque,
Huh.
I'm not sure where Walker came from, This one is Hank Aaron. And this picture is identical to the ones in the Hall of Fame. Identical.
Oh, so they're all then their Hall of Fame pictures then.
Yeah.
That's what it is, right? Just they took their Hall of Fame. Whoa. So wait, I lost count. Are we on 7?
That's William McCovey's my last one. And you know which one I didn't get?
What?
Tony Gwynn. I live in San Diego.
Oh yeah.
I was on the.
I know, and they
Damn it.
just redid the park. What do they call it? That area in the back.
Oh yeah,
right?
Petco Park, Gallagher Square.
Yeah, Gallagher Square, right? They have that whole section now devoted to him.
I bought 7 of them, and
Dude,
it's the price, $5.99, $6 basically for each one. And the guy kept on saying, "You want more? You want more?" And I go, "Yeah, I want more." But I just said, "That's enough," And I just didn't. After I left, I went, "Dang it, I didn't get Tony Gwynn."
But
I'm kicking myself in the head for that.
Yeah, but you know what? For that price, man, get him on the wall. Definitely, because we've had conversations with like Prince and things like this. Like we buy them and then we don't get them on in a frame and on the wall. Like it's gonna look really nice if you get them all.
That's a good idea. I have it in my little room here. But I really love those prints. I should have bought more.
Hallway, maybe in the hallway.
Yeah, maybe the hallway. That's a good idea. Yeah.
Now
I'm gonna start looking for them on eBay, probably $20-$30. So
that's actually really cheap.
It is. Yeah.
Like,
I was, damn, man. He just had a spindle rack there. There's so many of them. I was like, I should have just, But then I started thinking about my suitcase. It's going to be too heavy,
Oh, yeah. That's a good point.
But, those are cool. So I seen this recently. It says celebrating Marvel 85 years. This is under Marvel's, IG page. I'm not sure if they're going to do any more type of celebrations, but we'll see, Oh, we got a comment for those. They were a good price, those plaques,
No, I know the 85-year thing. They at the Hollywood Bowl, they did a orchestra of like the Infinity Saga, and so
they did.
Yeah,
nice.
Yeah. I want to say it's this weekend, maybe tonight.
Okay.
I know it's coming up.
I just seen something recently on IG too. It says Batman 85th anniversary too. So.
Oh yeah, have you seen the? See a little bit of this, a little bit of that. Have you seen the popcorn bucket?
Oh,
like they've been putting it on IG. Yeah, it's for the anniversary.
The bat signal.
The bat signal. Yeah, that's part of.
Cool.
That's part of that.
So, oops, hang on for a second here. Sorry. One thing I've learned about my when I show pictures or of especially CGC comics, you always have to move them around because the reflection. One thing I've done, and I did it before we came on today, is I'm lowering the light on my screen. So that helps a lot because there's a reflection, of the screen. So I lowered the screen picture, the brightness of it, and it looks a lot better. So I'm going to be doing that when I show my CGC books and EGS books. So these are just articles that I've been reading up online on Instagram. And it says on the left says new Terminator animes critics score ties for a franchise best at 100%. I seen episode 1 yesterday, and it is very good. So I highly recommend it. It's on Netflix. This show just came out. It's called Terminator Zero.
What's it? Because I've seen this posting too.
Yes.
But I have no clue about the show. Is it like pre?
Yeah. Basically, they say they're going for a second attempt of trying to stop the past. You know how the first one they killed Sarah. They're trying to kill Sarah Connors. Well, now they're going after a completely different person who's who's in charge of the the Skybound or Skynet, he's in charge of it, and they're going in the past to try to stop him because he's getting visions that something's wrong, so he's going to try to stop it.
You know what I mean? That's a good actual point. Like, why didn't they just kill the guy? Why go for Sarah? Kill that guy. But okay, cool. I got to check that out.
So it's the same premise, but a young girl this time is going to go back in past to try to save him, and he has a family too. So it's animated. It's animated really good. I just seen episode 1 yesterday, so I do highly recommend it. in the middle, I thought this was pretty good and cool. It says Cartoon Network is making a multiverse crossover with all of their classic shows. So I thought this was pretty cool. Because Crisis on Infinite Mirths. So you see all these Cartoon Network characters on there. It doesn't say exactly when it's coming out, but I thought it was pretty cool.
Oh, I got to tell my daughter.
Yeah.
She just started watching the Cowardly Dog, Courage the Cowardly Dog, which you see him right above the end there. Yeah, the purple dog. Oh yeah, she'd be into that for sure.
So this is coming in the future. And then I just read this recently. Ultron returns. James Spader, who was great as the voice of Ultron, to reprise Avengers sequel role for Disney Plus Division series, which was announced recently. So I heard that WandaVision was the first part, and Agatha Harkness is going to be like the second arc, and it's going to end with Vision. You know, it's going to be like a 3-arc storyline. You know, so this is coming in the future for Marvel. Hopefully, they'll have they'll be good, all three of them.
I think if they were going to bring back Vision and it's his own series, like Ultron has to be in there. You know what I mean? I don't know. To me, it just kind of goes together and it makes sense.
Yeah. Well, we have a comment here about my last subject about baseball. Must have been a great father-daughter experience. It was. My daughter just enjoys baseball as much as I do, and I didn't make her enjoy it. You know, like, hey, you got to go to baseball games with me. It just came naturally. You know, she's just really into baseball. You know, which makes the experience a lot better. And every freaking time I'm trying to say I'm gonna stop buying comic books or not buy as much. Like I had not bought J. Scott Campbell books for, to be honest with you, like at least over 5 years. I just said, I'm not going to buy any more of his books. But during San Diego Comic-Con, when he had the Spider-Gwen one,
it was an awakening.
It was awakening. It was. And oh no, here we go again. I bought his books and I kept some of them non-grade, and I got like one set of his grade, and they both came back 9.8s. And now this one's coming out pretty soon. And then he's going to have a virgin copy of this one. I go, dang it, man! Here I go again. I'm buying the one with prints on with words on it, but this virgin one I want too.
That virgin one I think is going to be hard to find.
Yeah,
it's gonna sell out. But it's funny because I do remember those days when you were all about J. Scott Campbell, and at one year at Comic-Con you got invited to the lunch.
Oh yeah.
And you were really thinking about it. You're like, Rob, I might do this.
Yeah.
But you're right. You haven't been into him as much, but this Comic-Con, you got all of them. And honestly, his books were some of the hottest books of the convention.
They were sold out by Saturday, I believe. A majority of his books were sold out by Saturday. And the one on the right is by Stanley Lau, Art Germ. The book's going to be West Coast Avengers. And it's Firestar. I go, dang, look at that book. Look how it looks like. Just the colors. Like I said, I'm trying to back off from buying as many books. I hardly buy any more advanced orders at all. I haven't done it for a while. But I think I'm gonna go after these 2 books. I just like the way they look. Oh, here we go. EGS Comics. Oh wow, we could do killer labels for those. I may hit you up on that once I get them. So yeah, they look awesome.
Dude, Firestar's first appearance is like in a Spider-Man Amazing Friends comic.
Yeah.
And I'm always looking for it, but it's tough to find in a 9.8 at a reasonable price. Like you can see a bunch of raw ones that are really cheap, but a 9.8 in that book, her first appearance is tough. There's also an Art Adams. I know we talked about this book in the past, you and I, a variant that he did. With Firestar, and that one is a ghost in a 9.8, and there's one I think on eBay right now, and the guy wants like thousands of dollars for it.
That is worth for sure. I've seen that one, and I've seen what they sell for recently, and he's just asking too much. Especially the price is down. Yeah. All right, let's see what's next here. I put this up as I've been reading Blood Hunt, but this is like I forgot what they call it, like the red. It's a specific book where they add more gore to it.
Red Band.
Yeah,
that's the whole thing. Like a Red Band movie trailer. Trailers that show more sex and gore.
Yeah. So I did buy it, and the only thing, it was just more gore. I mean, it didn't really add much to the story, but I wanted to buy it to see what the difference was, and I compared them side by side, like a regular story and the Red Band story. And to me, I mean, it was just more gore. You know,
Y-
just
Was
so
it? Do you think it's worth it? Like,
no,
no.
they show. I mean, we've seen so much gore and blood in movies for for years and years now. They had like people in spikes, like bodies torn apart. You see the insides of the body, and Thor was really messed up. They had like spikes going through his head. He got spikes, in the first one or second one, but it didn't add much to it to me. But I
Well,
just wanted to check it out.
but here's the thing too with Marvel in particular. Like, I've gone to a number of panels where artists will talk about, like, oh, with like, I work with Image, and Image allows, you
Yeah,
know, uh, full like bullets going through and
sure.
the blood and
Like
gore.
Kick-Ass, for example.
Right, yeah, and then they're like, okay, but Marvel actually has rules, and I get it, because they want to have a level of like safety in terms of like their fan base, right? Because a lot of
Yeah,
kids read comics. So a book that is, let's say, kick ass or super violent, right, might be a limit their audience and selling power. So it's kind of interesting that they're playing with this idea of like, no, let's take it, let's do more violent gore, see how that does,
yeah,
so I mean, if
sure.
this is successful, maybe they'll do more, but if not, they'll probably stick to what they've been doing.
Well, it grabbed my curiosity. That's why I bought it, just to see what's the difference between them. And it was more gore on this book.
Yeah, I seen the cover with Thor's head.
Yes,
It was a swipe cover to, I forget the old comic.
with that girl. That is,
Mhm.
yeah, that's
Yeah,
what you're talking about. Yep,
yeah. I
exactly.
know Greg Land did some a swipe of it as well for
On
a Wolverine.
Paper. Yeah,
It was a yeah. So, but yeah. So okay. So you're not your cup of tea, is what you're saying.
no, I mean, to me, it didn't add much to the storyline at all.
Huh.
So my daughter talking about, how we always remember books from decades gone by. My daughter goes, Dad, how do you remember all this? She asked me one time. I'm going, I don't know. I just know. So from
Because they're good. They were
they're
good.
yeah, basically, because they're
They're,
good. Yeah.
they're good books. They're good stories.
We have Solo Wookie joining us. Thank you so much. Solo Wookie has a great channel on Instagram too. So it says 5-star was badass in the 1980s
Yeah.
Spider-Man and Friends cartoon with Iceman, Spidey, and her. Yep, I love that series. So
Agreed. No, and you know what? The thing with I feel like now I'm becoming like a Firestar like fanboy a bit. She would be great on film, like TV,
yeah,
right? Like, I don't know.
agreed. I think I'm out of focus again, man. Hang on, let me get this going. I moved too quick, so it gets me out of focus. Let me see now. Well, I think I'm back. Okay, cool. All right, next subject. I can't wait for this movie to come out. It's coming out this week. I think Thursday, or pre-screening, early screening, probably going to be Wednesday. It's Beetlejuice 2. I'm going to watch Beetlejuice, the first one, before it comes out, but it's been 30 plus years since I've seen Beetlejuice. So my daughter and I are planning on going on Saturday, and we were talking Friday.
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 Yeah, get it right.
Yeah.
Get it right, Dad.
We're going Friday, and like the Batman popcorn buckets, they're going to have specific or special popcorn buckets for Beetlejuice too. One of them is like that snake in the desert, and I think another one's like a tombstone. I think there's going to be a total of 3 of them. But I'm looking forward to this movie. And I heard it says right here on the right-hand side, Beetlejuice review, Burton's most joyful movie in years.
All right. I like Burton's. I love Burton's movies. He's weird. I like it. So make sure you guys go to the right movie theater to get the buckets. I had a buddy, because he thought it was like, oh, I'm going to go to a Cinemark, and it was only AMC that was given the thing.
Good point.
So
this is going to be Regal Cinemas has these specific popcorn buckets. Other movie chains, theater chains, they have buckets too, but they're not the same, obviously, because they're different chains. Regal Cinema has these, so I'm going to go check them out. Hopefully get a couple.
Hey, sorry, since not to get too off topic, but at Comic-Con this year, AMC actually had a booth.
Yes.
And they were selling some of their like merch there, and they sold out at Comic-Con.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Kind of crazy.
Let me see. We got somebody new joining us here. Steel Carter. I'm in LA going to a metal shoe. Ephraim is
Show.
a show. Is a
Wait,
Viking.
wait, Hell Destroyer. Is this Hell Destroyer?
No, it's not. It's Steel Carter.
Oh, at Hell Destroyer. The next comment.
The
Okay.
Viking of the highest order. Okay, cool.
All right, right on, man.
Oh, at Hell Destroyer. Here we go. Oh, okay, gotcha. And we got another comment here from Solo Wookie. You guys should check out the Justice League Dark homage cover to Beetlejuice. It's badass. Oh, cool. I'll check it out. I never knew there was one. Okay, let's go on to the next one. So,
hey, speaking of
Hell Destroyer, and the person in the back is Leo.
Someone
he
said his
posted
name.
on Instagram that he's moving to a new office, so to speak. He has his own office now where he goes on Whatnot on Instagram Live, and he was in a smaller office, like in a chiropractor's office. There was 2 rooms there that he just rented out, and he posted on Instagram, "Hey, I'm moving to a new office." He didn't ask me to help him out, but I just told him, "Hey, if you need some help, I'll come help you out." So yesterday we were moving all his comic books, and this is just a glimpse of what he has to his new office. He's going to set it all up, and he's going to start just broadcasting live from his office on Instagram and on Whatnot. So it's his new space.
Dude,
and,
nice.
Yeah, it's nice. It's 2 rooms actually. I went, dang, he's got this is the back room, and then in the other side there's another smaller room where he's going to be broadcasting live to sell his books. And he said he bought a Maestro, if I'm pronouncing the name right, the Hulk, when he became Maestro. He said it weighs over 400 pounds. It's like life size. I don't know how tall it is. I didn't ask him, but he bought that. And he's going to put it in his office too.
Wait, a life size?
Well, I don't know if it's life size, but
wow.
I know he said it weighs over 400 pounds. I didn't ask him how tall it was, but he says, yeah, he's going to have it and, on display too.
Yeah, I mean, 400 pounds of anything.
I know. I went,
yeah.
And that's crazy, So, he has it already. He's just going to bring it in later on,
He definitely
I helped him out yesterday.
He needs to tease that like on his IG, like it's coming. You know what I mean? Like that'd be pretty awesome.
So, and I think that is it. Okay, yeah. And we're on to our last subject now. What did we buy this time? This last time I showed like how many books? Like over almost 30 CGC books that came in that I dropped off at San Diego Comic-Con. But before we get into that, let me get rid of this here. These aren't books that these are books that I just have, and they were done by CBCS. But since CGC is now, that you can, and these are signature series. So I'm going to crack them open, and these are by CBCS, and I just want to show them to you. Probably going to get them graded, again, but by different, but not by CBCS. So hang on for a second here. Let me show you this one first. This is Ms. Marvel. You see right here, signed by Michael Turner. I'm going to crack this and probably get it graded again. See how
Michael Turner, I mean, talk about talent gone way too soon.
Oh, iconic. I know.
Yeah, he's such a, I mean, you see something that he does and it's like, that's Turner. Like it's identifiable.
Yep. And this next one is by George Perez. I have this Infinity Gauntlet signed by George Perez. It's a 9.6. See his signature right there. And the last one is another George Perez. This is Tales of the Teen Titans.
Oh, yeah. That's is that the first appearance, right?
Yeah, I believe so. It says here, let me see. First appearance of Dick Grayson as Nightwing. Yeah. Origin of Deathstroke, Slade Wilson. But besides that, I have some new encapsulated books, and this is what we've all been waiting for. A lot of them, not a lot of them, but I got about 4 or 5 of them at least from EGS, and this is the first time I ever used them. I don't know the grades. I had my daughter open up the boxes for me and put them in order, not in order, but just get them ready for me because I didn't want to see what the grades are. But before we do that, Rob, do you have anything you want to show before I get into my graded book?
I don't. I'm sorry. So I told Efren this before the show, like literally 10 minutes before 6 o'clock. Like I was rushing through the door because I was at SAC Anime, and yeah. So I don't have anything, but I will next time though.
Yeah. I think I'm out of focus again too, man. Dang, I keep on moving too fast. Let me see.
Yeah, it's all those slabs you're flexing, dude. All right. Oh, we got a couple comments too
Oh,
on
we
the
do.
yeah.
Okay. Let me see right here. Oh, we did. We talked about that one.
Yeah.
Let me see. Turner is my favorite artist. Yeah, such a great artist. I think
Yeah.
he would have been obviously he would have been up there with everybody else that's popular right now. And for sure, just gone way too soon, man. His company, I'm drawing a blank on his company, but they're always selling his books still, man, to this day. Okay, so the moment we've been waiting for. These are graded books that I got recently. And these books came while I was in New York. So I was like, oh my
Whoa,
God.
wait. So did someone
Yes.
actually? Okay, I was
My
like,
name,
because when that happens, when they drop off and you're like, it's on the porch.
yeah. So the EGS books, they were on the porch, and I told my neighbor down the street to pick them up. The CGC books, I told them don't deliver them until like Thursday. So they didn't deliver them until Thursday.
Oh, nice, dude. That's
Yeah.
great news.
Okay, so this one is Avengers #4, and these are golden record reprints. I told you I bought those albums earlier this year, just albums like from the 1966, I believe. And this was the Avengers one, and I cleaned and pressed this myself. This is the very first the Silver Age return of Captain America.
So these are the books that came with
Yes,
that
with the
record
album.
set that you got, which plays the story.
The story, yes.
Yeah.
You can see the back. It's a completely different looking cover back cover. You see right here, there's a rip right here.
Oh.
And that's the way the book came. And this book I pressed and cleaned this book. And if it was the original book, I don't think I would have pressed and cleaned it. But since it was a reprint, I decided to do it myself. But this one had so many wrinkles when I did it, but I cleaned and pressed it myself.
What year did that one come out again?
This one came out in 1966.
I mean, think about like how long ago that is.
Yeah.
Here we are in 2024. Like,
yeah.
So I mean, good job. I mean,
yeah, good job. I know, man.
Yeah, right. Like,
and the reason I did it, like I said, it was a reprint. So that's why I said, I'm gonna take a chance. And we have somebody new joining us. Thank you so much. Pokemon Joe Comic Review. Hey, thanks for joining us. My name is Efren. I go by Passpoints. My cousin right next to me, his name is Rob. Goes by Momo Comics 80. We are constantly on Instagram. Just to let you know. My next one. There's another reprint from another album. This is Journey into Mystery, the first appearance of Thor. This one came back a 3.5.
So that one. You actually listened to the album at your house this last year. It was dope, man. Like, and if you haven't ever seen or heard of these, it's basic. It kind of comes across as like one of those old school radio shows.
Oh yeah, very.
You know what I mean? Like with the sound effects and like the voices that go like this.
You really have to use your imagination when you listen to these albums.
No, but it's definitely. I mean, it felt like a time machine. Like.
Nice to meet you and good to hear. Yeah, thank you for joining us. Okay, next one. Like I said, I haven't seen the grades on these. This one is Fantastic Four. It's a reprint too, golden record reprint, and this one came back at 5.0.
Dang.
Yeah.
So no big tears on that one then, right?
This was the nicest one of all of them that I got. And here's the back. Like I said, the back, you can tell it's not the original cover or original book. And yeah, this one came back at 9. I mean, 5.0, man, it was nice. I wish it was the original book.
Yeah, I mean, once you get past a 5.0, it's I mean, they tend to be like really great display books too. Like, you know what I mean? Like the cover tends to look decent enough where it's like, okay, that's cool. Especially with the older books. I guess I should have added that at the beginning with the older books.
So the next one, this was done at Comic-Con. I had this book signed by George Perez, but I just never decided. I just didn't get it, graded since CGC was there, and since they're doing their JSA authentic autographs, and they were there at Comic-Con. I cleaned and pressed it, and this first one came back on 8.0. You see the signature right there, George Perez. And you see, this is their labels now. It just looks like their regular labels. It's the yellow here and the black on top that says JSA.
I think I like the labels actually.
Yeah.
You know, before they didn't do that. You know, what was it? You'd get like a green label or
A
something.
green label, yes, yeah,
right.
yeah.
And that thing was like ugly. Like you see it and you'd be like, I don't like that at all. But no, now it looks clean. I like that they sharpened it up.
I did not know this, but by Solo Wookie, Casey Kasem did a few of the voices and narrating on those records, if I remember correctly. So I'm not sure if you remember who Casey Kasem is, Rob, but
I do.
Okay, I know you're a lot younger than me, so
I am.
Is that a DC logo box? I'm not sure what you mean. If you're talking about this last one, no, up here is the CGC. That's their label. You can't see it that well, but right there. And I did two of them. Oh man, this one came back at 9.6. Dang.
Wow, dude.
And they were just sitting in my comic book boxes for years and years, you know.
Oh, bottom left comic cover is what he's looking at. Yeah.
Oh, right there. Right here. The 50?
Yeah, I think that's what he's referring to.
Yeah, that is one. Yep. It says 1935 to 1985. It says 50 years. All right, this is what we've been waiting for. These are the books from EGS. I had never used them before. He was on my channel a few months ago, and I know Dan De La Torre, you know, he was in our panel. He uses EGS, and so does Spinetigs. You know, they both use EGS. So I decided to give it a try. I communicated with him before, you know, I told him, you know, you just go on his website, you have to fill out a form like any other form, and then, you know, you get to pick and choose how you want your on top the labels to look like. And then I actually communicated with him on Instagram, you know, for any specifics. And I haven't seen these. My daughter's opened them up, but each book, it seems like it comes with a certificate of authenticity.
Oh, wow.
This is Fantastic Four number 14. It says here, on this date of 7/15/24, received a grade of 3.5, taking into effect the defects found. And then it has like all the defects that were found on this. So,
oh, I like that.
Yeah, me
You
too.
know what I mean? Like the
yeah, I like
like
that a lot too.
well, because like we look for graders notes, and honestly, in my opinion, I don't really like the CGC grader notes. Like they don't
I know,
really
man.
get into like details. You know what I mean? They're like color rub, and I'm like, what? Where? You know?
Yep.
So like knowing that they're giving you like a list of the details of like this is why you got the grade. I like that. That's like constructive.
So here's the book. And I'm gonna try to show this as much as possible. You probably might not be, hopefully you'll be able to see this, but the label you see right here, it says Fantastic Four number 14, and Submariners right in the middle of it. A picture.
Okay. I can kind of see it in the middle. Oh, well,
Right
there we go. That's a little higher.
Right there.
Okay, there we go. Yeah, it's
So,
got it.
see Submariner's ass right there. So
Yeah. That's not America's ass.
That's not America's ass.
I'll
no.
tell you that right now.
That's Atlantis's ass. So, so I pressed and cleaned these myself. So this case is very nice, I must say. You know, it's thick. It's a little bit different from CGC's case, but it's very thick and very, you know, well done. If you, you know, obviously you can't see it like I can, but it's very sturdy looking case. I did like it a lot. It says EGS certified series. Show it to you one more time here.
So like, I mean, obviously you and I, we have a lot of slabs.
Yeah, a lot.
So like when you're, you know, because we've held all the different like PGX slabs, CBCS, CGC, like, and each of them do feel different, right? Like there's a different way.
Oh yeah.
Different, like even just like the like you said, sturdiness of it.
Yes.
How does this kind of like fall in that spectrum, you think?
It's just right up there with CGC and CBCS as far as, especially with CGC as far as sturdiest. I mean, if I close my eyes and I have a CGC one right here and a CBCS, I can't. They are both sturdy. You know.
That's
So
good to
very
hear.
well done.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Next one is X-Men number 10. Each one comes with a certificate of authenticity. And this one is Kazar or Kazar. I don't know how much to pronounce his name. But this is X-Men number 10. It came back at 3.0.
It's an old book, man. Old book. Yeah. I was like, that's the jumping cover.
Yeah.
Still kind of disappointed.
Right.
I think they were generous with that optic blast.
Yeah.
How did he miss that? Come on.
Yeah. So I love these old
Okay.
school covers, man.
Yeah. Can you go a little closer with the label? Okay. So I see the X-Men right in the center.
Right in the center,
Angel, right? Angel with his wings.
Yep. I told him I wanted that. And, you know. So, yeah, awesome. You know. Like I said, these cases are very, very sturdy. And in the back, it has their web page. And not sure what this long number here represents. Maybe just a number for this book. You know.
Oh, like the serial number?
Oh, serial number, yeah.
Maybe, yeah.
So, yep, that's 2 for 2. I really love these covers, man. I love the cases so far.
Yeah, I mean, right now. Oh, stop. Okay, like right now, like it looks actually really crisp. The clarity of the case itself.
I'm telling you, it doesn't do it justice. Me showing any of the books that I show that are great, it doesn't do it justice. You know, seeing them, you know, in person here. Oh, yeah, yes, matches the COA. Thank you very much. I got 4 more. All right. This one is Stanley Lau. There's a newer one. It's Facsimile, X-Men Facsimile Edition number 4. Let me see here. This is the Scarlet Witch.
Art Germ.
And you see the label. It matches like her outfit. The same color. I told him specifically I wanted that, you know. Always a glare.
Yeah, but I think a lot. I mean, right? If you've ever taken pictures of your slabs, like that's such a tricky thing. But even with that said, it looks again pretty clear.
If anybody, I highly recommend if anybody has not tried out EGS to try it out because these cases are very sturdy. I'm holding them again, and it's just they're really thick, and they're not flimsy, you know. So and they're well done. God, I really like it a lot. I think I may send them those the new books by J. Scott Campbell and Stanley Lau, Firestar and X-23. I may send you those too, you know, to get them done. This is another one, but this one came back at 9.6 too.
Oh, that's the Virgin.
That's the Virgin cover of it, yes. And I have 2 left. This is X-Men number 130. It's the first appearance of Dazzler. And let me see right here. Oh, yeah. So you may not be. So this one is X-Men 130. Came out in 1980. This one came back at 7.5. I like this a lot.
Okay, I will. I gotta ask, Efren. I'm pretty. How many? You have more than one of those.
Oh, heck yeah.
Okay, so and then also Efren. I don't know if you know this, and he's not in this like viewing party. I don't think. But Richard, my brother-in-law, right?
Yeah.
Dazzler's like his number 1, I think.
Oh,
He hasn't said it, but the way he talks about Dazzler and Dazzler comics, anyway. I'm like, oh, that's your number 1.
And you can see right here. Hopefully, you can see it. I think I'm out of focus again. Hang on.
Oh yeah.
Hang on for a second, guys.
I can see that there's something there, but yeah, it's
Dazzler. Hang on here.
Okay.
Right here is a picture of Dazzler.
Yeah, bring it up a little bit more. Okay, now it's coming in. Oh, yeah, I can see it now.
See right there.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, you know, so I'm gonna use this. I'm gonna use you guys again. I'm gonna send you those X-Men, that X-23, and
Just like that. He's like, I'm doing it again.
this one came out really nice. This is the last one. Oh my god, this looks nice. This is Fantastic Four number 15. Came out in 1963, and yes, I cleaned and pressed this myself. I wanted to do this one because the cover's yellow, and obviously the label on top is yellow too, and it has the Fantastic Four icon, the four right in the middle, and it came back a 4.5. This one's nice. Gosh, look at this. This is really nice.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's so that's yeah. And you know what's cool about that one too, the logo in the middle, because it's a contrasting color.
Yeah.
But yeah, he got the yellow to match that cover perfectly.
I think this is my favorite one.
Yeah, that one pops.
Fantastic Four number 4, and it came back a 4.5.
Yeah, I like that one a lot too. And it is because of that contrast. It really makes not just the book stand out, but also the label as well. Like, you know what I mean? Like it complements each other. It looks nice from here. I mean, obviously I'm
nice.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now and I'm like 4.5, why not a 5.0?
I know, so I'm thinking too. But if whoever watches this, hang on here, we got one. Oh yeah, thank you. Whoever watches this video, if you're watching it now, if you're watching it in rewind, I highly recommend you, if you're into encapsulations, give EGS a try.
Hey man, Efren, for real, like you should do like a posting on Instagram with that yellow Fantastic Four.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, post it, and then I'll share it too. You know.
God, I'm out of focus already. I've never been so much out of focus, man. Maybe the YouTube's trying to tell me something. I'm getting too old for this.
It's you're too fast.
Yeah, I'm too fast. So I highly recommend. I'm gonna put a link after we're done here to EGS, his Instagram page. You can follow him there. And if you want to order some books through EGS, I'm gonna order again. I love this Fantastic Four book. Look at this. This is really nice.
Yeah. No, I mean, look, I mean, right now your screen is smaller than what it was, right? Because you were like in the previous shot, the focal point, and I was, yeah, you did that. Go back, make yourself small. There we go. Like right now, like even from a distance, like it's really clean. You know, like it looks really sharp.
This one specifically pops. I'm not lying.
Yeah,
when you come over, man, I'm gonna show it to you, man. This thing pops.
I'll be there in 2 weeks.
Yeah. Oh, you will?
Yeah. I'm gonna come. We're gonna come down.
I'm not gonna be in New York, so I'll be here.
All right, right on.
This time,
but yeah, that yellow one especially looks like it just pops, dude. That might be the thing, like to consider. You know, like if someone was new doing, you know, going through EGS, you know, to consider like, all right, these are the primary colors of your book, you know, and if you do something kind of to complement with the label, the primary colors, like that might be the way to do it.
Yeah. Like I said, when you do it, you can talk to him on Instagram, and that's how we communicated. Hey, you can choose the labels that he has a lot of labels, and then you can tell him afterwards, I want to add something specific to it. You know, can you add more to it? You know, so
Now, do they offer? I mean, I know they're new, right? And I know we have EGS kind of.
Yeah, maybe
they're here right now. Yeah, like what about like signature series? Like, do they do like witnessing programs or just straight up grading? Just for now,
think they do. You're still here, Tony. You can tell us. You guys offer signature series, right? Authentication. They've been around since 2018.
Oh, okay, right.
And they're based in Florida, by the way. You know, so I think they do offer. If you go on his website, I think they do offer authentication of signatures.
So, and just hey, I've been trying to attempt Passpoint. Efren here to like, let's go do a different convention. You know, like I mean, there's MegaCon. Okay, yeah. You know, like if EGS, if you do like any of those like Florida conventions, like that would drag us out of California to go check it out.
That's true.
Okay, he did post the comment there.
Oh, he did? Hang on. I'm looking at something else here. Oh, yeah. There we go.
Oh, right on. Yeah. Because yeah, I mean, for me personally, like I know blue labels tend to sell, you know, more readily than like signature series. Like that's a different type of like collector, right? Like, you know, there's people who like CGC, and then within CGC, there's people who like remarks, and then there's people who like just the SIGs, right? And I really like using grading services, especially when I'm getting a signature, right? Because there's no like, is this fake or is this like really legit? It's a nice way to validate your signature. So I always, when I get a signature, I tend to get that book graded. So I thank you for answering that question. Appreciate that.
I think we are done, right, man? We don't have nothing else to talk about. Anything else you want to talk about on the top of your head? You know, like how's the weather over there? I know you guys are hot still, right?
It's getting cooler.
Okay.
We're I think we're at 100 today. But yeah, I know, man. But it should be nice on Monday. It's supposed to dip, but then after Monday, it's gonna go back over 100 here in Sacramento. House of Dragon, I did finish it.
God, I didn't put pictures up there on House of, and you sent me pictures, right?
I did, yeah. I finished House of Dragon.
Amateur. Talk about House of Dragons. Did you like it?
I did, but we can talk about that.
Okay,
next show.
Next time. Okay.
The other, just heads up, just the other thing, because so this last Comic-Con, you were like, hey, check out this show. And it was the show with the dude from Lost. Is it From? No. The scary one.
Yes. I think it is called From.
Is that right? From? Right?
Yeah.
You know what the show I'm talking about? The town that like at night the ghosts come out or whatever. So I just realized that Amazon has season 1 up.
Oh, they do.
So if you have Amazon Prime, it's there. And so I started watching it last night, like where I left off, you know, with you.
Mm-hmm.
And you're right, it's good, dude. It's scary. It's a little scary. So I'm like, to my wife, I'm like, you're not gonna like this. So but yeah, I'm gonna continue watching that. So House of Dragon, we could talk about that next time.
Yeah.
And then, you know, we can talk about if it From also.
Yeah. So season 2, they've done 2 seasons, and season 2 it explains more of what the heck is going on. You're starting to discover. I was like, oh, who's behind all this? You know. So, and season 3 hasn't come out yet, but it's a really good story. Yep. So and then we'll be back next week.
Yeah.
You know,
and then you'll see Beetlejuice by then.
And we'll see Beetlejuice. We'll talk about Beetlejuice.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll talk to after this. I'm gonna probably do the same. I'm gonna take note of what you're doing and also be like, hey, family, let's go watch the juice of Beatles.
Yeah. Yeah. So my outro is going to say we'll be back next month, but we'll be back probably in a week or 2. So I got to do a new outro. So, but anyways, everybody, till next time, go out and buy a comic book and read it. Remember why we do this? Because we enjoy reading comic books. You know?
Yes.
Exactly.
Comic books.
So
read a book.
Read a book.
A comic book.
A comic book. Yeah. Until next time, everybody, be safe and take care. Bye.
All right. Bye.